And looking at the Chicago Bears official 2024 schedule, which of these games is a must-win game for you? Which of these games is most important, or it's going to completely derail the season? For me, I think you absolutely have to win Tennessee, Indianapolis, and Carolina. You have to win those games. Now, if you can steal a Houston or a Los Angeles, great. But if you don't win Tennessee, Indianapolis, and Carolina, you're going to struggle. Okay, if we look at the first 6 weeks of the season, if you can go 3-3, that's a win. 4 of those 6 games are at home, and you need to win your home games. They absolutely have to win Tennessee, Carolina, and I think Indianapolis. Indianapolis is basically a home game for the Chicago Bears. You got to win those. If you can't win those 3, if you're not 3-3 going into the bye, I would consider this season off the tracks. Because if you look at the second half of the season, you've got Green Bay twice, you've got Minnesota twice, you've got Detroit, you've got San Francisco. If you don't have 3-3 going into the bye, preferably 4-2, because I think Los Angeles is a winnable game. I also think Jacksonville is a winnable game. So if you don't go at least 3-3 heading into the bye, this season's going to be a failure. Let me know what you think. If we look at the second half, I'm going to call it the second half of the season, I think Arizona is going to be tough. I think Green Bay obviously is going to be tough. Like if you look at that, November 17th, Green Bay, November 24th, Minnesota, November 28th at Detroit, and then you look at December 8th, San Francisco. If you look at that middle game, Green Bay, Minnesota, Detroit, San Francisco, Minnesota, Detroit, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 tough games in a row. You're going to have to go, if you want to make the playoffs, and a lot of people think that the playoffs are a real option for the Chicago Bears, you got to win at least 3 of those games. And so that's why the first 6 weeks of the season are so important. You got to go 3-3. So if you win 3 of those, that's going to put you at 6. You're going to try and beat Washington, that's 7. Maybe Arizona, that's 8. Seattle, that's 9. And New England, maybe that's 10. It's going to be really tough if you're looking at the schedule and you're not just drinking the Bears Kool-Aid. It's going to be tough sledding there. And that's why it's so important that they have to go 3-3 or preferably 4-2. I think that Jacksonville game that's going to be in England or in Europe, I think that could be a home game for the Bears. You have to win. You got to win. At least you got to go 3-3. If you can't go 3-3, this season is going to go off the tracks quickly. And I think, quite honestly, if they don't go 3-3 and the season goes off the tracks, they're going to get rid of Matt Eberflus. They're going to find a offensive-minded quarterback, which is going to stunt the growth of Caleb Williams, because that's what the Bears do. They do this the wrong way every single year. Once they identified they were going to get rid of Justin Fields, they should have also gotten rid of Matt Eberflus, completely cleaned house so that Caleb Williams would be starting fresh with a brand new head coach and a brand new offensive coordinator. Because what's going to happen, and I'm predicting the future here, if the season goes off the tracks, Eberflus gets fired, the offensive coordinator gets fired unless they really love him and they elevate him to head coach, you're going to have a new offensive-minded head coach. You're going to have a new offensive coordinator with new terminology and new system. And I just reported a little bit earlier that Caleb Williams is struggling to get up to speed when it comes to the NFL style of offense. He's going to have to do it all over again. And so they're essentially, and I'm laughing to keep from crying, but they're essentially going to stun his growth. So again, they've got to go 3-3. They need to go 4-4, really, if they even want a shot. If you're looking at this schedule, it is tough. November will really let Bear fans know. November, early December will let the Bear fans know, will let us know what happens if they're a contender or a pretender. Now, obviously, injuries and stuff like that you can't account for, but if you're just looking at it, eek, you might be able to snatch 1 away from Minnesota, probably the home game. That road game is always going to be tough. Minnesota at Minnesota on Monday night, and then following, you're going to play Detroit at home. Eek. That middle block is tough. So they need to go. They need to go at least 3-3. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. This is the Bear Down podcast. Make sure that you like, comment, follow, share, subscribe. Do all that good stuff. Let the algorithm know that this information is helpful, relevant, and valuable to you.